Good morning. We are doing something a little different today. We're going to play close-up with Pantone markers and Pantone inks today. We're going to do some illustrative type watercolor uses, different techniques, wet into wet, painting and drawing combinations. Today it's going to be fun. It's a little different today. So here's an example of some ink into a wet watercolor paper, and we're going to play with this and show you some options today. So we have some of the markers marking, we have some of the inks that we've bled into this. And these are just a couple of quick samples. And I'm going to start off by just doing a nice little ink drawing right into some really kind of wet watercolor paper, and it's just any regular ink pen is going to do the trick. And I'm just going to draw, and you can see kind of an inspired piece from the Leicester Park, which is really close to us. It's about a 10-minute walk from the house, and there's a river there, a couple rivers, the Amity and the Leicester River are there, and there's these big kind of gorges. Gorgeous. Having trouble speaking it this morning. All right, so if some of you came here thinking you're going to see a live today this morning, sorry to disappoint. Kristen is having to work today at the glass shop, and I felt we needed to continue to post things, so I'm posting something a little different. Close-up exploration of some different techniques, some foreground, background, but look at the way that ink just spreads. And I'm even letting the paper curl. It doesn't matter. We're just going to have some fun. And I wanted you to see some really interesting exploratory methods. See, it's already getting a little wet there. But I can build up this value really quickly, and then at some point coming up in the video here, we're going to add the Pantone ink and markers. So some indications of vegetation. Some of you that know, I produce large-scale stuff most of the time, big paintings, big sculptures, big public art. But I've really enjoyed going to these painting groups. There's a few of them in town that are available, and I am privileged enough to go to them. An open studio at the Duluth Art Institute, and then a watercolor painting group from the Lake Superior Watercolor Society. And I've really enjoyed the process because of the camaraderie. It's good to get out of the studio, right? But also because I get to explore things a little, play a little, because it's not my quote-unquote serious work. I get to just play, and I don't get to play as much maybe as I'd like to, although I play more than most in my studio because that's part of my job as a Royal Talons Master Ambassador. I get to illustrate new products and get to really privileged to be working with such a wonderful company. Anyway, so today these Pantone markers, I want to explain something about markers. A lot of markers that you get are alcohol-based, or even the watercolor ones. A lot of them are dye-based markers. What that means is that you're not going to really have an archival quality to them. They will fade. You may have noticed this with some illustrations. So they've often been for illustrative purposes or temporary types of creations in the graphic design industry, illustration industry, and so forth, and for ideations, right, in your sketchbooks, not things that might be exposed to the elements like sun. The difference with the Pantone markers is that they are archival. They are created using pigments instead of dyes. Pretty exciting. It's so exciting to work with these. There's a lot of sets. You can look it up. Pantone markers. Let's see if we put a couple on the edge maybe. Anyway, I'm really enjoying this kind of gradients that are happening right now. So just kind of going to get a feeling to show and illustrate. You can see it's getting a little bit dry in the middle. We can spritz it and let that ink go crazy. See this gradient in here? It's like a shading. It's creating some instant depth by that water. And as it dries, let me just say you can go back in and you can highlight with the pen or whatever pen you want. This is just an inexpensive pen here, and it's a blue dye, and you'll get some other interesting effects with that too. This one's, of course, not working. So, but play around with the different pens. You'll get different colors. I really enjoy the Tool pen. Not sponsored by them. I just really like the pen. So I've done this technique also with using, get that spritz over there, some architectural drawings. So things that are a little bit more architectural I've done using this. I think we're going to put like a little collection pond here or something. Every time I make a mark, it does such fun magic. Anyway, we get asked a lot on the shows and social media, you know, how do you get involved with the arts? How do you get shown? And I think one of the great ways to do it is to join one of these groups, one of your watercolor societies or abstract art societies, etc. And you can really get a sense of the community that way. You can have the support, emotional support, which is really important for artists, anybody really. But a lot of these groups are very supportive of each other, and I've enjoyed that too. So I'll get a little bit more up in there. Darken. I got kind of like a tree, a copse of trees up here. Happy little trees. All right, so should we add some color? Let's just add a little color. You can see how much fun it is. I'm going to take and fill it up with a few colors that I really like. Here's a bright green marker ink. So these inks are made to refill these. These are refillable. Very cool. You take out one of the sides. There's a lot of documentation on how to do it, but one of these sides, you take out the little marker end, and you can fill it. There's a lot of people that have done illustrations on that. So I'm also going to add maybe some Ecoline white watercolor here. I might be adding that into things. Oh, sorry about the shaky. I just realized I'm shaking things. I might use some of the pearl blue Amsterdam ink, and I might use some of the Amsterdam deep gold as well today. We'll see how it goes. But shake it up a little. I don't know why I'm shaking the. You don't need to shake the Pantones as far as I know. You do the acrylics. The acrylic inks, you should shake those. Let's find it. This is process blue. Oh, it's getting low. There we go. And a little goes a long way because they're so highly pigmented. But we're gonna. I should have maybe filled this before, huh? You're gonna say wow. You're gonna say wow when you see the colors on here. Whoops. There we go. Running out of that one. It's my favorite yellowish, orangish kind of thing. Let's pour it right in there with my shaky hands today. Hey, it's only 1 cup of coffee. All right, let's get started here. Maybe with some. Let's do the pearl. We'll throw some pearl blue in from the Amsterdam inks. Oh yeah, fun. Already love that. I have a number of brushes, but I'm just going to use a few simple flat brushes today. Pretty inexpensive. I have some other different kinds of brushes, that a big mop brush, as I call it. It's probably not the right term. And then an old Sumier brush that's kind of lost its... I ruined it. So, it happens, what can I say? But I'm going to use this because I like the quality of it. Let's see, let's add a little processed blue. Look at how fast that absorbed the water. A little goes a long way, and you're going to see already I've put more than I should have on it, but look at that color. And I think I'm going to work that right up through here, and then maybe a little bit right at the top. So you can use the same techniques that you do with watercolor using these. Now look at, we have some really fun clouds already, happy little clouds forming. And this is where I'm going to bring this white in and create some more swirly clouds. If I can get it out of the can here. And I think we'll create some rapids, or appearance of rapids. I'm not really looking to illustrate this really well. I just wanted to quickly, in half hour or so, show you. And I'm sorry again, I'm shaking the camera. I'm not used to doing it this way. Usually Kristen is involved. Look at that, huh? I wanted to show you how fun it can be with this. Just a teeny dab of that marker ink, the way it goes. Let's put a little moss over here. Do a little tree line. A little happy green tree line. That's right, I said it. Can you see that? I'm going to let the paint, in this case the inks from Pantone, do their job. And just let it move around. And then later I'll come back when it dries and maybe do some highlighting. I'm going to rinse this off and just a touching that, and we watch how fast it soaks up in. Boom! It's like turbo boost. So you can get some very, very highly saturated colors. If I had blotted a little of that out, I would have gotten more of a lighter. I can come over here and pick that up and use it elsewhere. Or I can just allow the first layer to come right up through there. It's gonna do a curve like that. And look at over here how it's spreading. Now see, if you use it a little thinner, you're going to get more of that watercolory, is that a word? Watercolory look. A little brown for the hills in the background of beautiful Duluth, Minnesota. A little bit of a brown down here for the water. And you know, just play. If you manage to get these, just play. Let me know how much fun you're having with them. I know I have a lot of fun. I'm going to tell you that these realistic paintings and drawings is typically not what I do. I'm an abstract artist, but I find that I've enjoyed working with this. I think it's helped my abstract work, to be honest. So I would encourage you to do similar with your own work. Green in the hills back there. And you know, if you get too much on it, you can always take a monoprint off of it and then that'll give you another surface to play with. So we can do this. Rub it on. If you have your brayer, go ahead and use that. But watch, this could be fun. Or maybe it's a disaster. Let's find out together. So now we have this one, which we can do some neat stuff with. And we have this, which kind of blotted it out, I think, a little bit nicer. And I think I will move that over. I don't know, maybe I'll just keep working on that. Well, this one's really intriguing over here. Let's pull this out of there for now. I have a bunch of big projects going on the table too, but I dug this corner out so I could maybe play a little bit. Let's do this, spritz it, watch what happens. Just gonna take that ink and just move it around. So we just did a little quick monoprint. At least that's what I'm going to call it. Look at that. Isn't that fun? We're just having fun today. And now I'm going to take my little ballpoint pen. I'm going to draw in there. Just let it happen. Just let it happen. Tree line. Or maybe it's just abstract. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just you having fun today. But this is really easy to do, to play with the pen like I showed you at the beginning. Find your watercolor paper, or any paper really, and then get your paper wet and start drawing. I mean, how easy is that? And I think I'll post in the YouTube community section some of these finished pieces when I get them a little further along, and you can see maybe a little bit more what happens with them. And I'll probably do something with the finishing techniques too, using the actual markers. But I can show you a little bit. In fact, I think I will. I'll show you a little bit right now. Let's set this aside and let's find a... I mean, look how much color we got on with very little usage. I put too much down here, really. It's a problem. You know what I'm going to do, though? I'm going to pick up some of the pearl. I'm going to put that in there with my dirty brush. Where should I do it? I should do it on the, maybe down here in the new water. And that will be obvious when it's drying more than it is right now. That's why I said I'll try and illustrate this later. Okay, let's pick a little teeny bit of this blue-green up and just dab it in. We're going to let that spread and then see what we want to do with it after we do that. All right, let's get the markers out, shall we? A little dab and do. Let's get a marker out. Maybe a green one here. Just grabbing one kind of randomly. So there's two ends. You've got the chisel point and the brush point. I use the chisel point a lot. I'm going to pin that down, and then I can draw right into there. I do a lot with geometric forms in all of my paintings, so here we go, adding some geometric forms. You can see the color just keeps on coming. How fun is that? You can take the other side and you can do, we're going to let that do something on its own. Watch that spread. I'm going to give it a little And if the marker gets dirty, you can just clean it off on a fresh piece of paper. Keep going. I seem to be missing a lot of markers today. There's a blue. Again, we're just playing. Let's play today and see where it leads us. Pretty awesome fun. Forgot to wear my gloves. I would recommend, unless you don't care about it, because it is a pigment. Even the dye-based markers can really mark your hands up. It gets to be a little bit problematic. So another thing we can do is some palette knife work. And I think we're going to go ahead and do that down here and see if we can't make this a little more cohesive. Like some fantasy waterline thing. If we pick up a little bit darker blue right on the bottom. Now the markers will take a while to set up. And I think that's okay. And I would go ahead and use a fixative when you're done. I don't think you have to, but I think it's a little extra protection on the piece. Let's add a little color pop to it, shall we? Let's do, just for no particular reason, let's try and add some little pink flowers or something. I don't know why, but let's just, I want to show you how bright these colors can get, even when it's on top of existing colors. Keep building layers up. Orange, my favorite. Speaking of which, I can do that too. I'm going to show you one more quick thing, I think. We're just playing today. I want to show you one more thing. Start out similar, really quick, and I'm not going to go into too much detail right now, but I really like this method. Let's get this. I'll just draw some random stuff, just some scribbles, loosening up. This is how I kind of start my day, is loosening up with some scribbles, some automatic drawing. Okay, that was fun. Let's do this now. Let me grab some of the yellow here and my palette knife, a big one. You can do this with a big wide brush too. You don't have to do it with this. Let's just take it from there. It's probably more than we needed. Ooh, that's fun, huh? All right, check this out. This is always fun to me. Look at how far that ink goes. Uh-oh, there's some green. It's okay. We're not going to worry about that. So, new techniques, new things to play with this week. I hope you will experiment and have fun today. Let me know what you're doing in the comments. Let me know if you'd like to see something else worked with these. If you have questions about the markers, and I'm happy to do that. I had a lot of fun today. Check us out, davidaustingallery.com, and enjoy your painting. Be kind to each other and spread that kindness. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day, everybody. It was fun painting with you today. We'll see you hopefully next week live at 11 o'clock on Saturday. Today was fun play, but without my beautiful wife helping out. So next time, we'll be back. Have a good one.